On July 7th, Shubman Gill produced one of the most complete test innings by an Indian batter abroad, a commanding 186 at Edgbaston that didn't just set up a win, it crushed England's confidence. India won the match by 336 runs, leveling the 5-test series 1-1, but this wasn't just a statistical victory. It was a statement. Walking in at 21 for 1 on a cloudy day one morning, Gill faced the full wrath of the Duke's ball. England's pacers, especially Anderson and Wood, got swing, seam, and bounce. But Gill looked like he was playing a different game. He neutralized threats with soft hands, glided the ball with late cuts, and punished over pitches with razor-sharp on-drives. By the time he crossed 150, England had tried every field change and bowling angle imaginable. None worked. Even England's slip cordon was visibly frustrated. Post-match, James Anderson admitted, "We just couldn't find a way in. He was a wall." At one point, Gill scored 40 runs in a 45-minute session without a single false shot, a rare feat in English conditions. The innings is now being replayed across platforms as a masterclass under pressure. But more than praise, it has sparked introspection within English cricket circles. How do you dismiss a batter who refuses to give you a chance? For India, this wasn't just a win, it was a blueprint. The Gill template, aggressive, precise, and patient, gave Indian Test batting a new face. And the world took notice. Shubman Gill's dominance at Edgbaston didn't emerge out of nowhere. It's the result of 18 months of conscious reinvention, technical, mental, and tactical. After a disappointing 2024 World Cup, where his shot selection and footwork were publicly criticized, Gill went off the radar. No ads, no interviews, just quiet work. He switched mental conditioning coaches, began training in hyper-realistic match simulations, and spent hours facing swinging machines on underprepared pitches to mimic the instability of foreign test conditions. One of his major changes was mechanical. He shortened his backlift and added a press step, a small pre-movement that now allows him to cover both outswing and in-swing with minimal reaction time. Coaches say this lets him hold his shape longer and commit later, a huge advantage against the Duke's ball. But perhaps the most underappreciated shift has been how he manages rhythm. Gill has developed a nearly metronomic control over tempo. Against spin, he slows the game down. Against pace, he plays late and soft, draining energy from bowlers who rely on bounce or aggression. His recent sessions with Dravid focused not on shots, but on releasing pressure without taking risks. Mentally, too, Gill has leveled up. He now journals his thoughts after every net, tracks emotional triggers during innings, and works with a visualization coach before each match. This mental reset has made him less reactive, more proactive. The final piece is humility. Despite being labeled the next Kohli or India's future captain, Gill rarely bites on comparisons. Instead, he studies footage of Jacques Kallis and Kane Williamson, two batters known for calm dominance. In short, Gill 2.0 isn't just more skilled, he's more intentional. Every shot he plays, every leave outside off, every slow walk between overs, it's all engineered. And it's working. Shubman Gill's Edgbaston masterclass has triggered a wave of reaction. Not just admiration, but a sense of adjustment. The cricket world is no longer just praising Gill. It's recalibrating around him. Former England captain Michael Vaughan tweeted, "This isn't just good batting. This is stress-free dominance in foreign conditions." Unbelievable. Ricky Ponting, who had once coached against Gill in the IPL, said in a Sky panel, "He reminds me of Kane Williamson at his peak, but with more range square of the wicket." Even among Indian veterans, the tone has shifted from hopeful to awed. Sunil Gavaskar called the innings a manual for opening in England. Dravid, usually reserved in praise, reportedly told the team, "What Shubman did today, that's the bar. For all of us." Meanwhile, fans on social media began stitching side-by-side clips of Gill's Edgbaston drives and early 2000s Tendulkar, noting the similarities in balance, elbow position, and timing. The comparisons are no longer premature, they're deserved. But reactions haven't been purely flattering. England's coaching staff is now under pressure for letting Gill settle. One former selector remarked, "You don't bowl the same channel for 3 sessions to a player like him." In cricketing forums, debates rage. Do you bounce him? Cramp him? Crowd him? So far, none of it has worked. Gill himself, however, remains unmoved. In the post-match presser, when asked about the praise, he shrugged. "That's nice, but we've got 3 more tests to play." The reactions tell a story not just of appreciation, but of realization. India's next test giant isn't coming. He's already here. Shubman Gill's resurgence is doing more than helping India win tests. It's subtly reshaping the country's batting culture. For over a decade, India's overseas strategy leaned defensive, occupy the crease, survive the new ball, wear teams down. But Gill's template flips that script. His method is positive without being reckless, attacking without losing patience. It's proactive test cricket, not waiting for mistakes, but creating pressure. This shift is already rippling through India's cricketing institutions. Coaches at the National Cricket Academy are integrating Gill drills, designed to mimic his footwork patterns and balance points, into U19 routines. The BCCI's high-performance team has even begun compiling a digital Gill playbook, a technical breakdown that will be circulated to regional academies this fall. Broadcasters are feeling it too. According to Viacom18, viewership among 18 to 24-year-olds spiked 70% during Gill's innings at Edgbaston. Many first-time Test viewers have stayed on past lunch, an almost unheard-of retention rate in the streaming era. Gill has somehow made long-form batting appointment viewing. The dressing room has changed as well. Younger players like Yashasvi Jaiswal, Abhinandan, and Riyan Parag are reportedly shadowing Gill in practice, not just for his strokes, but his preparation routines. He's become a standard for process, not just performance. Even India's approach to team composition is evolving. For the next test at Lord's, management is considering using a 5-bowler setup, confident that Gill and his top-order peers can provide the runs. That's trust built not on reputation, but recent proof. Gill's impact is no longer personal. It's institutional. He's not just playing great cricket. He's pulling Indian red ball cricket forward with him. Every era-defining cricketer has a moment that crystallizes their arrival, a single innings that says, "This is different. This will last." For Shubman Gill, Edgbaston might be that moment. At just 25, Gill has already notched centuries in Australia, England, and at home. But this 186 was more than a number. It was the tone he set, measured, clinical, impervious to noise. There were no fist pumps, no roaring celebrations. Just a quiet bat raise, a nod to the dressing room, and back to focus. He now averages 71.4 in tests in 2025, leads India in red ball runs this calendar year, and is climbing the ICC test rankings at speed, already touching number 2 behind Marnus Labuschagne. More impressively, he's done it all without the swagger of showman. Gill's aura comes from clarity, not charisma. Legacy is a word often thrown around early in cricket, but for Gill, it's beginning to feel inevitable. His name is already being discussed in the same breath as Dravid, Laxman, even early Tendulkar. Not because he's achieved more, but because he carries the same sense of trust at the crease. That feeling for fans that we're okay, Gill's still in. What's next? The third test at Lord's begins in days. If Gill delivers there, against the slope, against an England desperate to bounce back, this narrative may shift from future great to defining voice of this era. Years from now, Edgbaston 2025 may be remembered not just for the runs, but for the transformation it triggered, of a batter into a benchmark, of a talent into a torchbearer.